Hey everyone, hope you're doing well today. For my mini lecture today, I wanted to expand on the ideas of mindful self-compassion and introduce you to um, just a kind of a new concept. And this one's called, radical self-compassion. And there's a tool that you can use, and this is sort of rooted in Eastern Buddhist meditative practices, but also the work of Kristin Neff and Christopher Germer on mindful self-compassion. And a tool that you can use is called RAIN. So recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. So the first part is recognize. So this is part of the basic foundational counseling work that we do with clients is helping them understand what they're actually feeling. We use our feelings wheels, and we try to, reflect and validate feelings so that they can tap into their intuition and feel more comfortable expressing and feeling what they're actually feeling, whatever that might be. This is a tool that you can also use with yourself. So sometimes we are on autopilot, or what Tara Brach, the creator of this tool, calls trance. So when we're in trance, we're just going, going, going. We're barely breathing. We're probably eating really fast. We may have all kinds of different feelings, but we don't really even know what we're feeling because we're going, going, going. We're either checked out, or we are moving at a fast pace. So the first step in RAIN is to really slow down and recognize what it is you're actually feeling. The second part of RAIN is to allow. So when we accept and allow ourselves to feel, we aren't fighting against what is. So frequently, I think that we can get caught in a pattern of making a sad or hard event even harder when we beat ourselves up for feeling a certain way. So when we have negative metacognition about our experiences, then it makes it even harder for us. So maybe I'm having anxiety, and then I say, oh, I'm so stupid for having anxiety about this thing. I shouldn't have anxiety about this. When you fight against what is, it just compounds the negative situation. Now you're feeling two things. You're feeling shame and guilt for feeling what you originally felt. So when we allow, we are taking away some shame and guilt around feeling what we're actually feeling, but it also allows us deeper self-reflection. If we're accepting and we're allowing ourselves to feel, we can figure out what that feeling is trying to tell us and move in a direction that will serve us a little more effectively, which leads us into investigate. So investigate that feeling. So we've recognized what the feeling is. We've allowed the feeling to exist and accepted and welcomed it in. And now we are investigating the sensations in our body. We're maybe investigating the origin of the feeling in the first place. We might be investigating whether or not it's based in truth or reality. So if I tell myself I don't belong in this room, like say I'm struggling with imposter syndrome, and I say, I'm not smart enough to be here. I might, do a little digging and see if there's any evidence to counter that. So slightly CBT here. But we don't want to take too much time doing this because we could get sucked into a really deep rabbit hole and explore our family of origin and, all sorts of different things. But of course, if you know what that is, or that feeling connects to that's been with you your whole life, then knowing that it's a comfortable bad place to be could be helpful to you because you can counteract that. So like for me, when I've used this tool, I find that a lot of my negative self-talk comes when I am tired. Maybe I've had a really long, overwhelming day and I've tried to cram in a whole lot of things, and I'm feeling guilt about maybe, not getting enough done at work or not spending enough time with my daughter, or whatever it might be that's in the way. When I start to beat myself up is typically when I'm pretty exhausted, like really beat myself up, like having, self-deprecating thoughts about who I am, or shame-based, deeper, more pervasive negative thoughts about who I am as a person, as opposed to I'm disappointed that something didn't go right. So I can typically do a little investigation and realize I'm exhausted. I need something else here. I don't have to believe this thought about myself. I am going to do something to care for myself, which leads us into nurture. So one of the tenets of mindful self-compassion is this reliance on giving oneself grace, the way that you would a friend, the way you would a child. If a child has their feelings hurt and they're crying, you would have some sort of a compassionate reaction, like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're feeling that way. It's okay. Let me give you a hug, right? So we want to kind of embrace that attitude toward ourselves. If I am exhausted and I've tried my hardest all day and I felt like it wasn't good enough, and I start to tell myself, you're just not doing good enough, or you're not good enough. If I am giving myself compassion in that moment, I am actually going to say, oh, you're good enough. It's okay. You just had a lot to do today. You have a lot on your plate. That is hard. You're human. So that would be a more nurturing response that I could give myself. And during the investigation stage, the I part of RAIN, we need to ask ourselves what we need. So where does this come from? What am I feeling in my body, and what might I need? And in the nurturing step, we can start to give that to ourselves. So maybe I need self-compassion. Maybe I need to go to sleep. Maybe I need support from my partner or a friend. Maybe I need a hug. Maybe I need a little bit of ice cream. That's okay too. We want to try to avoid probably a lot of unhealthy coping strategies, but every once in a while, it's okay to give ourselves something that makes us feel better. And we need to ask ourselves what that is. Maybe I need to take something off my agenda the next day. That might be some real self-care. So RAIN: recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. This is a wonderful little acronym that we can use to kind of try to figure out what's going on with us, to slow down a little bit in the haze of life, to get a little bit self-reflective, to help our clients become more self-reflective, to help them get a deeper understanding of what they're feeling, what their needs are, and how they might be able to nurture and give love to themselves. So I think it's a really cool tool. I just wanted to share it with you all. I will provide a resource with this mini lecture as well, so that you can take a look at Tara Brach's work. And I hope you have a great day. Take care.